transparent. Why they are transparent? They are crystalline or amorphous? Why you don't say that they are crystalline? Sodium chloride crystal, if you take, it is transparent. We generally associate crystallinity with the transparency. In the case of polymers, exactly the reverse. Transparency means this is a polymer which is amorphous. But many times polymers are not used in the virgin state. There are so many additives put, antioxidants and stabilizers, colors, etc. Most of the colors are put in to make them very attractive things. So crystallinity can be pushed up in the case of polymers, but not exactly the way we have 100% very highly crystalline materials, because of the difficulty in organizing these molecules which coil up because of the free rotation about the single bond that you have in the chain. How a polymer melt looks like, because for crystallization you have to melt it and try to solidify it. Can you imagine how a polymer melt looks like? If I have a bowl here, and if you are given the eyesight to see the things at the molecular level, how do you see it? Anyway, vision is clear. It's like, you have seen Nagin film? The snakes wriggling about each other in the big basket there. So polymer molecules will be wriggling because the heat that is present in the molecules will make them, flex. It's like a can of worms. It will look like that. As you cool it, the motion stops slowly, 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 and the crystallization begins. But because the viscosity increases, they are not able to fully order themselves to give a crystalline polymer. The importance of the work. So many Nobel Prizes have gone to the people working in polymer chemistry. So Leo Baekeland started with bakelite. Story continues. He never imagined that one day we'll reach a stage where our age, from here, where do we go? I leave it. A person choosing a career in this field can expect to achieve both financial, which is important. Many of you must be hoping for getting a good placement somewhere, and you can also get personal fulfillment. Polymers have entered every sphere of our life. I told you, even the heart wall. Where do we go from here? This is what we have ended up with. What we have created, we wanted our polymers to be resistant to heat, resistant to light, resistant to chemicals, all sorts of acids, bases, etc. We wanted to make them immortal materials because we wanted something which is really strong, which is resistant to everything. We wanted to increase the life of it, and we have really succeeded in doing that. Nature had created these interesting large molecules which you leave it after use, it will get back to its elements. We have created something without knowing, after making them resistant to everything, what will happen to that? And this is the result of it. Now the fear has gripped the civilization that one day all of us will be buried under polymer debris. We don't know what to do with it. You use it for landfill. If you construct a building, it will become Tower of Pisa. It will not get back to nature. It will not get back to its elements. Why? The polymers that were made are not biodegradable. The polymers that were made remain as such. Even after several years, if you dig out a dumping site, you will find those, they will choke our lakes. Aesthetically unpleasing environment is created. What do we do? Say no to plastics. It has become a fashion to say no to plastics. If we say no to plastics, how will we live? How will we survive? In the morning we start with the brush, toothpaste, and the whole day. 5 ways to counter has been thought of. You counter it, reduce. No paint on the car body. You mold it in the color that you want it, made up of polymer. It has color within. You are saving. Ultimately what you want to do is, because all these polymers are synthesized from the fossil fuels that you get, from the crude oil, whatever comes, you convert into petroleum and petrochemicals. From that, these polymers have come up. That's a limited resource. You have to do that. You are saving the environment and you are saving the natural resource. Reuse, we do it. Indians are known for it. We don't throw anything. If we go to the kitchen storeroom, you will see only those empty containers, empty bottles, etc. And we have been doing it. And Americans have started. They have realized a bit late. Use and throw, the story has changed. 80% of the Americans now reuse and at least go for recycling. Recycle, I have given some interesting results here. 54% plastic is recycled in Germany. And there is a very interesting, when it was realized that the plastic has become a nuisance, German government announced that you segregate your waste into two, plastic waste and the other waste at home. Germans are unlike us. The traffic fellow whistles and tries to stop, but you will still be zooming, crossing the signal. We don't obey rules. We take it as our democratic right to violate rules. But Germans are not like that. Germans, once the government announces this has to be done, they will do it. Till the government says don't do it. And German government announced that plastic has to be separately kept, and they kept it. Within 1 week, so much plastic waste got accumulated. The government had thought that they will be able to recycle their plan, but within 1 week it became so much that they had to tell them, no, please, don't. Because it is not easy to handle the plastic waste that is generated, because the plastics are of different types. They cannot be put together because they may not be compatible with each other. Recycling can be done, but there is a limit. Collection, segregation, and so many things have to be done. After the World War, similar thing happened. When I talk about Germans, government said that you have to work, because Germany was completely destroyed. So you have to work hard. And they put in so much hard work, so much production, that government said, no, now only 5 days. Then they reduced it to 4 days, because the production was multiplying like that. Now 5 2-liter bottles can give you a t-shirt if you recycle. And if you have 400 2-liter bottles, you can have a carpet made up of size 9 feet by 12 feet. And this is exactly done now. The polymer goes for recycling. Technologies are available. Collection and segregation is a major issue. But the last two, incinerate. How many of you will support it? Incinerate it. Burn it. It will pollute the environment. If you burn PVC pipe, you will see that HCl getting into acid rains, so many things. The environmentally conscious people will say, no, don't burn. We also go and tell in the winter, the watchman, security who burns the tires for keeping him warm, we say, no, don't burn it, it spoils the environment. We do that. But incineration can be done because it has a lot of energy in it. Plastic waste is 7% of the total waste that we generate, but it has 30% of the energy. If it is done in a planned manner, it is possible to get that energy for a useful purpose. Biodegradation. Initially wanted to make polymers resistant to everything, and we created a Bhasmasur. Bhasmasur is trying to kill us. But now we want the polymer to be susceptible to something. Microorganisms, why don't you eat it? Microorganisms survive on these natural polymers, but they don't find the synthetic polymers appetizing. They don't like it. But slowly they are adapting, no doubt. So biodegradation is a way. You make a polymer which has a lifetime. After the shelf life is over, it degrades. Its molecular weight goes down and it gets back to nature. Microorganisms will be able to take care after the molecular weight has come down like the natural polymers. And it started with this. A competition, paper cup versus plastic cup. It's known as, the study is known as cradle to grave type of life cycle analysis. From the beginning to the end, if you find out from raw material to the last, what all things go in producing a paper cup and a plastic cup. All of us will, no, plastic cup you don't use paper cup, we say. But the study has shown that the loser is the paper cup. Styrofoam or polystyrene cups withstand all this. I'll not, because running out of time. Harsh chemicals, that itself is sufficient to rule out paper cup. And we believe that paper cup is biodegradable. We believe. How many of you say that paper cup will degrade? Anything that is thrown out of a paper article will degrade. After at least termites will eat them away. This person has a dream. There is another interesting study in this. In the United States, they dug out a dumping yard to find out what has happened to the waste that was dumped there. Like near Kalali Fatak in Baroda, we see everything is dumped by the municipal corporation there, and you see plastics and all things dumped there. And when they dug out, they were surprised. A newspaper which was 37-year-old was still readable. It had not degraded. And a hot dog, which they dug out, although not edible, still recognizable. They could see, yes, it is there. So whatever we say biodegradation depends on the way we dispose it. Under the conditions under which they had disposed it off, prevented it from biodegrading. The paper was intact, the hot dog was also intact for 37 years. So the war that don't use plastics, say no to plastics, use paper cup and all those things really don't work the way we think. We have to be very cautious in taking that decision. Where and how? We can reduce definitely the polymer. We cannot live without polymer. It has come to stay. And this person, interesting, he says that plastic cups, or plastic bottles to car bodies, once the car has been used for sufficient number of years, melt the car body and make bottles out of it. That means a total recirculation, one article to another. And a day will come when we will be able to do that. As I told you, technology is available.